Okay, well, this is my last water flow, and it's probably the most exciting one because it was, I'd say, engineered and man-made. This was, well, Zach Weiss took something that I had existing and made it great. But show them where we're at. You can see the chicken coop right there. Far side is the original first pond from the highway, or not highway, but the paved road. Okay, so I built this swale. Y'all tell me in the comments how I shouldn't put trees on the uphill side of a swale. You do what you got to do. This has got topsoil below it, no topsoil. Working on that. Anyway, so this is a swale. It's called the vetiver swale. I think I made a video of just it. Let me, ooh, peas. Let's walk down through here. This swale in the brilliance is what we did downstream. The water would just sheet down this. This is a slope going downhill, downhill. This is the second swale that I made. Actually, I think Ben with Zach's group made this. It was made to divert water from around here off my driveway. Anyway, I filled it with mulch. I talked about that previously. Filled it with mulch, it'll rot. So where there's no topsoil, I'll now have topsoil thanks to that mulch. So we're walking down. The water was going straight into my shop. I mean, there'd be, I could have ½ inch of just silt in there after a hard rain. And when I say a hard rain, we've had a week around, what's the first holiday, Memorial or Labor? We'll call it Memorial Day. We've had 5 inches of rain in a week, 12 inches of rain in a week, and then nothing, like nothing until October. That's probably typical, or nothing until Labor Day, which is September. That's kind of typical for us. But anyway, there's another swale from where the ground just naturally just nosedived down. So he resculpted this swale, and it's actually going to feed into my new pond. Actually, this sediment pond before going into the new pond. Let's walk it real quick. So I think this was pretty genius. As you can see from the other side, it holds a little water to soak in, but it goes through this little culvert and then it goes into my terrace. The terrace is the thing that most excites me and also created the most fails for me. But let's walk it real quick. First thing I had to do was deer proof it if I was going to have any chance of having trees. And I did this whole structure around it, and I still have deer coming in. I found some holes where I thought they may be coming in. Anyway, my thought was all these T-posts, just think of whatever, kiwi, grapes, roses. I mean, just create this green wall across there. Now back on the water flow, let me get in position where I can describe it. So high ground rocks nosedives in a terrace, which is V-cut, and then it nosedives again in the planting area, and then it flattens out. So I planted pecan trees, peach trees, plum trees. You can see them down there, and we'll take a closer look. But the thing I couldn't overcome, yeah, this flows water and there's things I can do, like this is V-shaped, so all the water, and I think it's 1 foot drop for every 50 feet down, so it's slow, it flows very, very slow, and the intention is for the water to soak in as it's flowing. That's how Zach Weiss had designed it. But Ben had said I could, do something, put a cedar log across here, put a rock dam across there, so I could have multiple dams. Water fills up, overflows, goes down, overflows, goes down, overflows. And keep in mind what I said, when you have a full pond, what is the benefit of adding more water to that pond other than causing the pond to overflow, which causes the next pond to overflow, and all of a sudden your water's leaving your land. So anyway, I really got to come in here and put some dams. Like, let's walk down here. I mean, there's a peach tree there. You can see all the leaves that got eaten, and I think a raccoon may have climbed the top branch to eat a peach and broke the limb. So I got some issues I got to deal with. This pecan tree died, came back up from the roots. Like I said, we're going into the winter cycle, but here's a pecan tree and another peach tree, and I think we're going to get into some mulberry trees. As you can see, we're walking the literal water flow. It gets so bad in the summertime, you don't know what's what. I actually planted a peach tree, and then the next year I planted a mulberry tree, and they're both side by side. I guess we'll call that a guild, survival of the fittest. But it wasn't intentional, but I'm gonna let it be. I mean, the grass can, we'll just give you an example over here, how tall the grass can get. I mean, I'll come and cut it maybe twice a year. But if you look down into the growing terrace, I'm gonna walk down here. You can see the slope of the growing terrace there. It is so full of, just from cutting, I mean, you've got to pull back the mulch, natural mulch that came from all this grass to plant something. So that's pretty awesome. Good things are happening. And maybe I just did it too soon. You know, Jeff Lawton always talks about 6 years to fully hydrate your land once you put in the water landscapes, and I'm not there yet. And am I fully hydrating this landscape? Like I said, just the water's flowing slow, but it's flowing. So a lot of mini dams down there, I think it'll really help down here. But without drip in this section, I can't get survival on anything. Okay, so we're going to the end of our tour. Here's a culvert. Now when Zach had built this, it just flowed straight into the sediment pond. I was so impressed with this whole terrace system. You know, when you hear of permaculture, it's swales and hugelkultur. Well, this is a way to infiltrate the water and get it to a destination, which is what he did here. But I was so impressed with it, I built this whole fence system. And to build the fence system, I had to put a culvert in. So culvert starts here, goes across here, and makes its way into the sediment pond. Anyway, I know this was a long video, but oh, got some bed over here. Long video, but this is the full entire water flow system on my 18 acres of land. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Got any comments, suggestions, tips, just leave them for me. Thank you.